It's one of the longest road trips in basketball, across the desert, over the Tasman, 5,000 kilometers away to get here to Spark Arena, where tonight two fierce rivals go toe-to-toe, the two most dominant NBL franchises of the past decade. Franchise legends are in the building, the likes of Abercrombie, Wagstaff, scintillating imports with highlights to burn as well. Two franchises with such similar history. Two ultimate rivals going to battle right here in Tamaki Makaurau, because tip-off is just moments away. On a beautiful Sunday here in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, round 14 is about to get going with the Breakers and the Wildcats going toe-to-toe. It might be a bit of a gift for the Breakers to give to their fans, that it is building nicely around here, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I know a lot of people are heading back to work tomorrow. Case, yourself as well. Brooke Rusko here, joined by Casey Frank, and the Breakers are on a bit of a roll at the moment. There's no two ways about it, 4-0, but the real test is now. You play Perth and you play Melbourne your next two games.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. When you're talking about the top of the table, that's where the Breakers want to be. And to get there, they're going to have to go through Perth. They're going to have to go through the United. And they're going to have to find out if this winning streak has been an aberration against some teams that aren't playing well right now, or if they are actually with the cream of the crop up there at the top of the table.
Well, selfishly, there's one man that isn't in the building. He's not suiting up tonight that I know you wanted to see as well. Number one in the mock draft for the next NBA draft, Alex Sarr isn't in the building. How do they fill that space without him tonight?
Well, it's going to have to be as a collective. When you lose a 7-footer with that level of athleticism, the ability to switch, it's going to be tough to take him out. A lot of Keanu Pinder. He's going to have to stay out of foul trouble to keep on the court to help lift the quality of that interior team.
Well, they are 4-0 like we just said. And Taylor, I know you've been speaking to Modi, or you heard something that Modi said about the rhythm that they're in at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Look, Brooke, I'm wearing Breaker Blue because I am on the bandwagon with this late charge heading into the playoffs. But as you said, Coach Modi, he said during the week that everyone is finally setting into their roles and they're actually building friendships off the court, which is actually translating onto the court now. But I will tell you this, Ty Webster during the week said, I am looking forward to reminding this New Zealand crowd just who I am. So, Brooke, man came to play tonight. This is going to be tough against a very strong Perth team.
It's not like Ty to have something to say just moments before the game. I love it. Love it to have Ty here. Now, the ladder. Let's take a look at the ladder, because the Hawks and the Breakers have just broken their way through into the top six. United doing their thing. Wildcats sitting at 2 at the moment, and the 36ers and the Bullets fighting to get their way back into the top six. Two more games to wrap up round 14. Obviously, the Breakers and the Wildcats, Kings and Bullets next. But Case, what did you like about the games that have happened so far?
Well, the surprisingness of the results. You see, you have the United going down last night. You had the Hawks beating the Phoenix earlier in the week. So it's topsy-turvy. You don't know who's going to win on any given night. There's enough talent that you have to watch to make sure you know.
Well, that's the beauty of this league. You never know who's going to take out a game, but there is some talent across the board, and PJC has been huge since he stepped into New Zealand.
Unbelievable talent, you know, obviously so great with the assists, third in the league in scoring, and the pressure he puts on defenses. Not just in transition where he's an offensive pawn himself, but in the half court when he's forcing multiple defenders to sag in, get in those lanes. And now that the Breakers are full strength, he can pass that ball to the second side and attack a rotating defense, which is really helping the Breakers' efficiency.
Well, from one amazing import to arguably the greatest import this league has ever seen. They're 7-1 when he scores 25 plus, and he's going to play a whole bunch of minutes tonight as well.
What a matchup. You know, scores number 2 and 3 in the competition right now. Of course, we got Anthony Lamb in there as well, so a lot of guys. But when you talk about two players who are playing at an all-league level at the guard position in Bryce Cotton and Parker Jackson Cartwright, is this possibly one player going to put his hand up and say, hey, I should be the diminutive guard who's going to be picked for that spot this season?
Well, the rivalry continues tonight. We are moments away from tip-off. Andrew Mulligan, Happy New Year's, mate.
Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much, Brooke. Hello, everyone. Welcome along. Spark Arena and the old age rivalry between those two teams continue. And for the starting five, it's Zion Cheatham again getting the start. His second start in a row since coming back from injury. Parker Jackson Cartwright, Mantas Rivstavicius, he has been phenomenal since shaking off some injuries. And of course, Anthony Lamb and Mango Matiang as well, finding his feet and being a force at the 5 spot for the BNZ Breakers. For the Perth Wildcats, the visitors in black, they'll have Keanu Pinder at the 5 spot, and of course the backcourt of Bryce Cotton and Ty Webster. Hiram Harris has been a revelation for the Perth Wildcats. He is all hustle and heart, and Christian Doodle, the import, We'll round out that 5. For your officials, the referees, they will have their hands full tonight. And it's going to be Vaughan Mabry who will lead the referee crew, Kenneth Widgeon and Alex McEwen as well. And we are moments away from getting this underway. The Perth Wildcats have won 7 of the last 8 against the Breakers, but the Breakers have won the last 4 on the trot. It's been an indifferent season at home for the Breakers here at Spark Arena. They've started to string it together. What will this one have for you this afternoon or this morning if you're watching in Western Australia? Good morning to you. And Casey, this is set to be another instant classic.
Well, it always is when these two teams meet, but two teams that are really trying to, after a slow start, find that rhythm, which they both have. Let's see who can keep it today.
It'll be Bryce Cotton. Matched up with Rooster Beatrice. Hiram Harris comes out, gets the catch. Might have been a bit of a walk there. It's Pinder scrambling for the rebound, and it's Matiang who comes away with it. PJC crosses half court, spies Cheatham to his right. He's got a mismatch with Ty Webster down low. Showing us Hiram Harris, screaming at his defense, kicking it out. Lamb with the up fake. Puts up the alley-oop for Matiang. Good defense from the interior on the Wildcats side of the ball. Pinder with a catch. Nice look from Webster. Ty, that is.
Well, got that mismatch in transition, and the Perth Wildcats were able to exploit it where the Breakers were not. Good quick decision from Ty Webster to get it inside.
No Corey Webster by the looks. He's in warm-ups. Went through a fitness test this afternoon pre-game. It'll be interesting to see if John really calls his name or if he's scratched, and he is done by all accounts. There he is there. He'll be disappointed he doesn't get to play in front of his hometown. And a first up foul on Bryce Cotton, number 1.
Yeah, he's in street clothes today, had a pre-match fitness test. But he said he's close. He's hoping in the next week or two to be back on the court and helping this Wildcats team that's playing well.
And as mentioned by Brooke, pre-game note, Alex Sarr as well. Jackson Cartwright. Oh, what a look to Matiang and 1. Oh, my goodness.
Well, you've got to be so concerned about the Breakers bigs coming off the pick and roll with their verticality, their ability to catch high and finish. But look at this beautiful pass. Look at the English that he spins around multiple defenders. Hiram Harris comes late. He saw it coming, but it's so perfectly delivered right into Matiang's hands. Easy finish. And now a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Did we have budget to extend for a camera on Ty Webster tonight?
If we didn't, we should have found it somewhere.
He is highly entertaining as Rooster Vicious connects from downtown.
Well, the second chance opportunities is a brace the Breakers have not excelled at. They're the worst offensive rebounding team in the league, but three points there.
Doolittle for 3 in the corner is good.
Well, no rotation out there. He's completely alone on an island. Nice find by Bryce Cotton. And Kirsten Doolittle has been playing very good basketball, in particular as a connector and on the defensive end for the Wildcats.
Well, that is the question of this Perth Wildcats team. You know what you're going to get with Bryce Cotton as Lamb has it stuffed. But who's going to be the second scorer for this team? They've had options. Jordan Usher, the other import, is Cotton with a contested 2 from the free throw line. Connects. Jordan Usher will come off the bench, Casey, but who will be number 2 for them?
Well, that's always a question, and a lot of times it is a collective. I'm looking at Keanu Pinder with no Sarr in. I think he might be able to get a little bit heavier load today.
Cheatham checks his feet and knocks down a corner 3 himself.
He feels so comfortable shooting that corner three-point shot. When he's spaced out there, he's a real threat. Not as much so on the wing.
Ty Webster looking to post. Matiang comes over with the help. Hiram Harris has it blocked, and he's fouled underneath. Hiram Harris, he will wear it tonight, and he does not mind.
Well, really nice find by Ty Webster as that double team came to take away the advantage he had on Parker Jackson Cartwright. Drops it right in, and Harris tries to get it up quickly. Blocked high cleanly, but the body late. That's what gets whistled, and rightfully so, sending Hiram Harris to the stripe to try and take the lead.
Well, this Perth Wildcats team a few weeks ago, they were in the doldrums. It just wasn't working. They couldn't get going. Nothing seemed to go their way. And John really has done an excellent job of shaking things up a little bit, moving Jordan Usher to the bench, relying more and more on role players to help out Bryce Cotton, and Alex Saar, unfortunately out with a hip complaint tonight, but today rather, but he has found a rhythm in his unit that has seen them win 3 of the last 4 as Hiram Harris connects on the second.
Well, you got a portrait as pretty as Bryce Cotton who can put scoring the basketball. You got to find some glue guys to keep it stuck on the wall. And the glue guys in Harris and Jesse Wagstaff, they've been playing more and they've been doing a better job of sacrificing themselves for his benefit.
Jackson Cartwright off the dribble. And it's goaltending, and it's going to count. I don't think Mathiang thought it might have been something to do with him, but it wasn't.
It's 2 points, it's okay, and no foul. Mathiang, you can forgive him for thinking otherwise.
I think that's muscle memory for Mango down low, unfortunately for him, but lately he has been superb. As Cotton gets the give and go, rather the baseline cut, but there's good defense again. Stavicius has it ripped away. Hiram Harris thought it was all ball. Or Mabry with the call.
Well, real clever action on the other side for the Wildcats. The double back door that Bryce Cotton thought he had a look. Mathiang might have gotten away with a little bit of contact as he contested the shot. And on this end, Stavicius comes through with a quick up fake and push. Hiram Harris thought it was clean. Officiating crease off the other way.
Stavicius, he sold that really well.
Well, he is a Euro.
He is a Euro. He's 21 years old. The Lithuanian next start.
I think before they teach dribbling, they teach you how to accentuate some contact.
Lamb, cross court to Cheatham. Hiram Harris put his body on the line. No block called, no charge called. Pinder the other way. And Lamb goes down. Pinder has it, steps back out. 3 ball is good. It's raining triples at Spark right now. Both teams 2 for 2.
Wildcats are testing the transition defense of the Breakers early. You can see they've got some initiative in pushing that thing early, kicking it ahead, and finding people in transition. That time, Lamb tries to take the charge, leaving Pinder wide open for that opportunity.
Tell you what, I tell you who loves a charge, and that's Jesse Wagstaff. He's about to check in the game. The veteran, a leader on this team for so long. He's done battles with this Breakers team across his career. Mango Mathiang fights for the rebound. Stavicius can't get it, puts his own rebound back in.
Well, Mathiang, great effort early on the glass, but the stick-to-itiveness of Mantas Stavicius, as we see the foul up high, is what kept that possession. 3 cracks at it, finally gets it, 3rd time's the charm, all tied up with 6:19 to go. Look at Mathiang, just keeping that alive, getting a fingertip to it, and then the unselfish pass, the extra look. Stavicius goes with the up fake, trying to get Harris off the ground. He doesn't fall through it. Eventually, he gets it inside the net.
Breakers go a little bit smaller. Abercrombie's in for Mathiang. He'll pick up Jesse Wagstaff. These two have played a lot of basketball against each other. Cotton, so good and shifty with the ball in hand. 3 of the league's top scorers in this game with Parker, Jackson, Cartwright and Lamb on the other side. Webster in a bit of trouble, finds Wagstaff, 3 ball. Knocks it down, another 3.
Well, they are finding some space on the perimeter. 2 for 2 from deep right now. Sorry, 3 for 3. Haven't missed yet with that Wagstaff triple. Collapsing that defense with penetration first.
What a look to Lamb. Those two connecting again. Anthony Lamb leading the league in scoring and rebounds for his team. No other player can do it in the NBL right now as Pinder drives on Cheatham. Tries to drop it off. Doolittle cleans it up. Gives it to Ty Webster. 11 seconds now on the shot clock. Webster driving on Cheatham on the baseline. Has it poked away. Pinder has it. And he gets the and one. It is high-octane offense right now.
Well, he's grabbing that hip. Looks like he came down a little bit awkwardly, but the fortuitous bounce there for Ty Webster. Loses control of it, but he's able to tap it brilliantly in the right spot for Pinder. Gets the contact on Cheatham. Pins to the line. Cheatham feels he got an elbow in the face, but that contact was deemed illegal. Not a lot to it, but enough for a free throw attempt for Pinder here.
Keanu Pinder shooting 67% from the foul line. Former Cairns Taipan, back home in Western Australia. Family in Broome come to see him play every now and again at RAC Arena, one of the great basketball venues in this part of the world. And he connects on the 3-point play opportunity.
Is Perth and New Zealand considered the same part of the world?
It kind of is, but not really.
Southern Hemisphere?
It feels like worlds apart. Lamb knocks down the
Oh,
three.
they got to count that.
It
That's
counts.
going to be a question.
Does it count?
They're going to talk about it.
They have to talk about it.
I think the foul was before the shot went off, but that's not what the officials say. Count it.
That three is good. So both teams are now 3 for 3 from downtown. And we've got a foul called as well. And that is going to be on Doolittle. And Vaughan Mabry now explaining to Wildcats head coach John Riley, former breaker as well, in the 09-10 season.
So that's
Really,
they discussed how it went. Take another look at it. The screen comes here. The screen is going through. They're saying that shot went off before the foul. Tough break for the Wildcats, but fortunate for the Breakers. They get the three-point play and another crack at it.
Lamb upstairs to Cheatham.
Oh my, there's that verticality. Zylan Cheatham off the pick and roll. You have to be so concerned. Brilliant pass from Lamb, but that is a tough angle to try and defend the lob from.
Here comes Doolittle driving on Lamb. And those two are strong players underneath, and it's Lamb who wins that matchup, and Doolittle picks up his second, a little bit too aggressive in the backcourt.
Well, I don't think that's a foul on Doolittle. I think he's in good defensive position and just sticking with Lamb, but after the activity underneath, as we take another look at it, look how quick he leaves that screen. The second he creates the advantage, Cheatham is on the rim, and that is just a brilliantly delivered ball. That is a tough angle to throw the lob from straight down the line and get that depth of distance down correctly. And that is the 5th foul on the Wildcats, so Anthony Lamb is off to the stripe to try and build on this 1-point lead. And free throws is a place where the Breakers have really changed their game in their winning streak. In their last game against the Jack Jumpers, their last loss, they only got to the line 17 times, made 11 of them. In their 4 wins, they're averaging 31 attempts, and they're making 24 of them.
Well, what do you put that down to? Do you think that they have adjusted the way that they've attacked, or do you think that, I don't want to say the rub of the green,
Well,
but
look,
I want to say that maybe that they've just initiated contact in the right part of the floor.
if you want to get fouls, you have to drive. I think at times this year, the Breakers have relied on the perimeter shot. When they're chucking up threes and not getting into the paint, or if it's just PJC, not other players, I don't think you're going to get the call, but it's a mindset of attacking the rim and putting yourself in position to get that call if it goes your way.
McDowell White now in the game. Jesse Wagstaff knocks down that short jumper. He's got 5 now, and that's production off the bench. That is bonus for this Wildcats team.
Wildcats shooting 70% from the field, 7 for 10 right now. Just getting great looks and excellent position.
PJC drives, finds Cheatham, that's the handle, and then that'll go back to the Perth Wildcats. And I tell you what, Casey, this New Zealand Breakers team only had 2 turnovers against the Jack Jumpers in their last win. They have 2 now. Excuse me, that is the first. But they have looked after the basketball in this 4-game win streak, that is for sure.
Well, they're getting familiar with each other. As you see Webster miss a layup, and as you get more familiar with where your teammate's going to be, it makes it easier to keep you out of the rock.
Breather for Lamb, he's going to check in as Abercrombie gives him a bit of offense, and now Lamb's going to sit back down.
Really nice, quick movement there by the Breakers, attacking before the defense can get set and cutting with purpose.
It is 23-20, and we've still got over 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. These two teams can fill it up. Perth Wildcats average over 90, but they concede over 90 as well. The Breakers defense, they can run, but they can also lock it down as Usher tried to connect from deep, and we've got a foul underneath on PJC.
Yeah, it just locked up with Ty Webster, and I like what Ty Webster's mindset is early in this one. When you get the opportunity, I'm going to punish him. If I'm down low underneath, I'm going to work on the glass, and Webster's got great position there. He doesn't give it up. PJC working hard, but gets called for that foul with the push from behind.
That is the 4th team foul on the Breakers. Have this 3-point lead, 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Webster finds Pinder. Cotton running hard as always. Over the top of Cheatham, off to the right, but it's Usher, front of the rim, gets his own rebound, and puts it up and in.
Multiple opportunities on the same possession there. And that's been a thorn in the side of the Breakers all season long. The only team in the competition who does a less of a job on the defensive glass in the competition is the Wildcats.
Oh, Anthony Lamb connecting from deep. They're 4 for 4. And timeout, John, really, in the Wildcats. Breakers finding it from deep, 26-22 now.
Breakers really manipulating the defense of the Wildcats well. As we hear Coach John really trying to get that conversation in to just get things going his way a bit. What they have to be concerned about, though, is the freedom on the perimeter. Too easy are those looks from outside.
Oh, Anthony Lamb, he hit a 3 just now, and Casey caught up with him before the game.
Anthony coming along, a nice winning streak for the New Zealand Breakers. Some players have come back, but what are the habits that you've seen develop by the Breakers along that need to continue to keep winning the ways?
We're just locking in our rebound and just being willing to play a second action. I think that's the big thing with our team. We got a lot of people that can score, a lot of people that can be aggressive, make right plays. So when we trust that and trust each other, that shows in our games, and that's why we're putting up a lot of points.
Certainly have a lot of players on the team who can score, 2 of the top 3 scorers in the competition with yourself and PJC. When you're playing with a player with that kind of ability, how do you determine when it's going to be one player's turn to sort of get a chance at the table, start eating? Is this just something you feel in the game, or is it more planned out on the court?
Yeah, it's usually when they start throwing like 3 guys at them, and I just like, I'm going to be open eventually. So, and it's the same thing for me. So when I start getting a lot of attention, he just takes his time and goes to score. So just wait till they change up their coverage and try to take away one of us. They can't take away both.
Oh, let's go to Taylor Johnson, who has a report from the Perth Wildcats timeout.
Yeah, interestingly, Wagstaff was the one doing a lot of the talking, just yelling at everyone, making sure that everyone is going man on. But the coach, John, really, he said, can everyone just get up higher when you're marking everyone? Make sure you're up high, don't allow them to get in close, because they do realize how accurate they are being from outside of the rim.
And for more from the Breakers side, Brooke.
Yeah, Coach Modi, like what he saw in this first quarter and a bit. 26 points right now, filling it up. They need to continue to fill it up. And like what they're doing on the defensive end, said they've had 5 deflections, but they can't turn that over. The offensive rebounds for the Perth Wildcats are killing them as well. So we see another one there from Usher, and Pinder crashing the ball, but they need to keep being aggressive and knocking it down like they did their Christmas ham.
Cheatham cleans it up. That was the 4th offensive rebound before that for the Perth Wildcats. Knocked away by Pinder. Abercrombie saves it for the Breakers. The Alpha lets it fly. Lamb with a rebound, puts it up and in with the left hand.
Well, everything really is rolling the Breakers' way early. Even missed shots just happening in the right spot. Wildcats are determined, though. They're executing well and not playing bad defense. Just need to clean it up a bit.
Here we go. Will McDowell-White streaking ahead. Off the turnover and puts it down with a sneaky right-hander.
And these are the bursts that the Wildcats have to be careful of. 4, 6, 8 points in a row that it really changes the momentum and gets the crowd involved.
Well, this is a solid defensive unit out there for the Breakers. Minus Matiang as Wagstaff puts the ball on the floor, gives it to Pinder. Pinder on the reverse.
Basket interference called.
Yeah, I think he got him on the net there underneath Anthony Lamb.
Well, touching the net is one thing, but it has to have an influence on the backboard. You have to grab it. Sometimes the hand does get caught in there when you're not pulling it. It looked pretty incidental, but fortunate for Keanu Pinder, who decided to go to the weak side instead of go straight up, for that to come in. And that's I mean, certainly did touch the net. I don't know how much influence that had on the shot, but the Wildcats will take it.
30-24. Michael Harris in the game for the Wildcats. The Alpha. What a look! What a 3!
Beautiful offense, really manipulated well. They forced Lamb out of the catch, went straight into that on ball, and saw the option in the corner. Will McDowell-White just playing that offense like a stringed instrument.
And we've got Usher on the floor.
Now, there was a concern about condensation on the floor prior to this game. A very hot day in Auckland, and this building has been empty for a while. So the AC came on, and condensation was coming off the AC unit coming down. I don't think that what that was that instant right there, but something that the officiating crew and all the Moffats out there have to worry about.
We have 5. We have 5 Moffats out there.
6, make it 6. 7 in total on the court, so they have taken the condensation issue seriously and recruited more 14-year-olds to keep it dry.
All of the Breakers who have got onto the floor right now have scored for Modi Maor. Lamb has 12. Bryce Cotton made to work. Good closeout on a league MVP and Bryce Cotton. Will McDowell-White fires it to Rubstavicius in perfect position. Liafa crashing the glass from the weak side. McDowell-White giving it up. Cheatham looking for a handoff, finds Lamb, sees a double. Cotton breaks it up nicely. Lamb has it back. Cheatham puts it up and in. And the lead now is ballooning out to double figures, 35-24.
Breakers playing with great pace, making it difficult for Perth to get those second and third rotations. But they got to do some work here on the defensive end as Perth gets more aggressive.
Usher misses that. That's a tough move. McDowell-White with the rebound. Shot clock differential of around 4 seconds. Will McDowell-White will wind it down. Michael Harris on him. 10 to shoot for the Breakers as the first quarter comes to an end. Up high comes Cheatham. Looking in fully Alpha for 3. Missed that one from the left-hand side. And Cotton to close it out. Hits the front of the rim. We are done after 1 quarter here. There's been 59 points at Spark Arena on a Sunday afternoon, and it's the Breakers who lead by 11 at Spark. No mai, haere mai, welcome back to Spark Arena for the second quarter. For more from the Perth Wildcats quarter time break, Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, interestingly again, Wagstaff started it off and all he said was, guys, we need to talk. He said, I'm out there, I can't hear anybody talking to me, both on offense and defense. He said, let's go back to the simple things and get it right. And then Don Riley, he said, guys, rebounds. The Breakers are the worst rebounders in the competition, yet they're getting them today, so they really need to work on it. For more from the Breakers, let's hear from Brooke.
Well, I'll tell you why they might not be able to hear anything as Liafa knocks it down. It's because it is loud in here. You have to make your presence felt, but it's fairly positive. And why not timeout from Coach Modi right there? Loves what they're doing on the defense end. The ball isn't sticking. It's on the offensive end, sorry. It's the defensive end where they need to close out possessions. That's the only thing hurting the Breakers right now.
Punch, counter punch, thrust and parry, the Breakers and the Wildcats. Dueling from the three-point line, Liafa and then Harris. As Mantas. The tough move and cut, and he will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, the biggest difference I've seen in the Breakers offense during this 4-game win streak is the movement offensively when the ball is moving on the court. Early in the season, the offense was very static. In the last 4 games, it's been kinetic. When the ball passes around, players are moving off it. They're always cutting. They're always making themselves a target, as we can see by Rubstavicius on that cut there.
Mantas Rubstavicius leads the league True shooting percentage, 77.3% in the last 4 wins. He has found his rhythm in this league after shaking off some niggly injuries. Misses the second there. He's usually a very good free throw shooter, but Lamb tracks down that rebound.
And a lot of talk about injuries for the Breakers, as Zylo Cheatham, one of the injured players, gets 2 points on that drive there, just using that skill set. But Mantas Rupstavicius missed the first 10 games, and now that we see what kind of impact he's had on his team, that's just another guy that the Breakers are trying to settle for.
Doolittle, strong move on Cheatham.
I like the way he's taking aggressiveness. If you're going to guard me that far away from the basket, I'm going to get straight to the cup. But the Wildcats can't trade buckets yet. They got to find a way to slow Breakers down on this end of the court.
Back to Rupstavicius, is averaging over 17 in these 4 wins. But the Breakers are on, and Cheatham again down low. He's got 11.
They are dicing the Wildcats up in the half court with the on-ball. The rotation, there are too many players getting stuck on the ball, and the rotation to the roller is just too late.
Starting to get a little bit ugly for John Riley and the Wildcats now with a 14-point Breakers lead. Liafa breaking it up. Cotton with the shot clock winding down. Lamb picks him up. Off the top, the very top of the backboard, and Bryce Cotton, unreal. He can get to the cup quicker than anyone in the league, apart from probably Parker Jackson Cartwright, but he'll go to the line to shoot too.
Well, Bryce Cotton not having a great day from the field as of yet. The looks are decent, but so much attention from the Breakers. Just 1 for 5 from the field up to this point, and these will be his first free throw attempts as well. Of that 1 for 5, 0 for 2 from deep. And getting to the cup, trying to get that contact and get his eye in with a couple of free throws is a great strategy for a scorer of his abilities.
Excuse me, Casey, you might have heard that stat pre-game. 7-1 when he scores 25 or more for the Wildcats. John Riley talking to Hiram Harris. And Bryce Cotton, nothing but net from him.
Bryce Cotton, when he gets those free throws, is always a dangerous time for a defense. That's when scorers tend to start feeling a little bit more comfortable on the court.
McDowell White. Abercrombie in the corner. A little bit sluggish here from the Breakers, but Rupstavicius just takes it off the dribble and lifts it up on the rim of the left.
Well, they're getting the Wildcats really spread out with that motion there, and that left tons of room for the drive. Nice recognition by Rupstavicius.
2 hands from Rupstavicius on Aquera. And it's going to be Matiang in the game for Cheatham.
Well, with about 4:45 left in the first quarter, it was 21-20. Since that point, the Breakers have gone on a 24-10 run. Absolutely locked down the opportunities for the Wildcats, who were shooting up at 70% earlier in the game, are down underneath 50 now.
Hiram Harris up high looking for somebody. Drives. And it came off Hiram Harris's leg. Stripped away by Isaiah Liafa. 2 Tall Blacks teammates coming together down low.
Well, the Wildcats are drawing those rotations over. They're getting that second defender, but they're not able to punish the Breakers defense with a pass out of it. They have to find a way to get that going more smoothly.
Will McDowell White finding his legs, coming back from a leg injury. Whips it to Abercrombie in the corner. Loses the handle momentarily. Finds Rupstavicius. Connected 3. Misses that one. Good contest on the Wildcats on the 3-point line. Usher
off. 1 for 6 from the field now. 0 for 3 from deep.
McDowell White. Stepping back. In and out. Mody Moore not happy with that possession there.
Well, both teams finding much more success when they get penetration. They can't settle for the jump shots without making the defense bend.
Cotton up and strokes it. makes the nylon rip as Cotton, and Mody Moore instant timeout.
Well, it's the danger of a shooter getting to the free throw line. A scorer of his caliber gets his eye in it, and now he's got it. He was 1 for 5 from the field, now 2 for 6. And you got to get that defender off that on ball to come up a little bit higher. Mengo Matiang doesn't get a hand up. Rustavicius gets caught up, and that's easy money for Bryce Cotton.
That is just too much room. Bryce Cotton will absolutely nail it every time if he gets a sliver of light. Snooze timeout called. 11-point lead for the Breakers.
Pretty good. What do you think, Pregame action?
We are ready. Ready, go chap. So if that's your man, running up onto the ball. We are just ready and flying out of it. Then we are back to X after that, okay? Down this end, stay with our punch and drags. Here we go.
Keep him in front.
Well, for Bryce Cotton, it's quite a remarkable story. The reason why he wears number 11 is because at age 9, he was diagnosed with severe epilepsy and was told he wouldn't live past the age of 11.
I mean, damn, doctor.
And so that is the reason why he wears number 11.
Tell you what, that is some heartfelt meaning there. And it's something that you love to hear about players overcoming obstacles such as that, especially to reach accolades such as he has.
Let's go to Brooke.
Yeah, speaking about how special he is, that's literally just a timeout to slow down the momentum of one Bryce Cotton. He can get it going there. 3 right there. It was a quick timeout, and that timeout was just about how do we slow him down? How do we get back to the systems that we know and that we love that have got us to this point? We cannot let him get going.
Liafa knocking down a 3. The Breakers are 7 from 12 from downtown. Perth, they're 5 for 11.
Finding some great range. And the Wildcats, they don't know what to stop.
Usher.
Did I say he was off? Now he's on.
Let it burn, Usher.
He finds it with a quickness. He has no fear. A couple of his shots are not going to slow down his attack.
Better than saying, hey, daddy. Liafa for 3. Can't get that one. Who wants it? Harris has it. Gives it to Usher. Cotton kicking it out. Harris with a clean look. And he's hit by Matiang. And Hiram Harris goes down.
Well, just a moment ago, this team had 31 points, back-to-back triples, and then a foul on a 3-point attempt has a chance for them to find a quick 9-0 run. Which would bring them right back into it. They've slowed things down on the defensive end, have the Wildcats, limiting that penetration as we take another look at Matiang. Just follow through a little bit too much and send Michael Harris to the free throw stripe. As soon as we get rid of some of the sweat spots out here, there is plenty. It is a hot, humid day here in Auckland today.
I'm not sure who makes the schedule, but this is the second year in a row where the Wildcats have only had to come to New Zealand once, whereas the Breakers, they've got to go to Perth twice. I'm not sure if it's supposed to alternate or not. It's just the way it works.
Yeah.
But it's the longest road trip in basketball in this part of the world, surely.
Well, tip of the tipple to the brave souls who do scheduling for any league across the world, because that is a difficult job. And you will always find a few inequities. You always seem to find more inequities for the teams that you follow, though. It's tough to find them for the other squads.
Michael Harris, familiar to Sal's NBL viewers, played for the Otago Nuggets. His head coach, Brent Matahari, called up to the Wildcats bench for this game. A big, strong Otago Nuggets connection as well. Jack Andrew, the big man for the Nuggets on the Wildcats bench. Of course, Ty Webster made a cameo for the Nuggets as well. Have I forgotten anyone else, Casey? Of course, there's Hiram Harris, there's Corey Webster, and Dante Rousseau-Nance. A lot of New Zealanders
Sprinkling around.
sprinkled across the Wildcats bench.
1-2-2, little trap action here from the Wildcats.
This has been something that teams have employed against the Breakers for some success, and nobody gets a roll like Tom Abercrombie in this venue.
A very changed mindset for the Breakers against that type of pressure, though. They're not passive at all. They attack right away, forcing the defense right back onto its heels.
Harris attacking Lamb. Usher in trouble. Doolittle for 3 straight on. Cheatham with a big board. Wildcats are back as Liafa. Tipped away by Hiram Harris, and he's into the second row. And someone's taken a shoulder there. They've absolutely worn it.
And they love it.
And they absolutely love it.
They're very
I mean, there's
excited
some
about it.
towels.
Hiram Harris always going to hustle. You have to be careful in that front row. Excellent hands, the quick action, doesn't give up on the play.
Oh, it's an empty chair.
seat. Perfect.
Oh, it's perfect. Yes.
And he says, I'll make sure everybody's okay. No wonder. I was going to say, that's awfully happy for having Hiram Harris come straight through your jaw.
Parker Jackson Cartwright looking up to Cheatham. They read it. And it
pass.
falls to Abercrombie. In and out. Doolittle with the board.
Unbelievable tip there by Cheatham. Jackson Cartwright unable to get involved scoring-wise, just 1 bucket, but 5 assists.
Doolittle. Oh, in and out. Webster with a big offensive board. Cotton. Jackson Cartwright has it. Hiram Harris almost took it off him. What a look. Liafa, the Wildcats do so well to come back. Oh, Jackson Cartwright. What a matchup this is. Cotton did enough.
Nice response from Cotton. Forced him into a difficult mid-range shot after a quick first spin move.
Pinder checks his feet. Misses the 3. Falls to Harris. Harris sees the lane. Dishes it off. It's Webster with Abercrombie on him. 2 Westlake boys going at it. Ty Webster left it on the front. Here comes Parker Jackson. Cartwright! Cotton strips him
Anticipation, Cotton.
with a little shimmy with the shoulders. And it's Harris who can put it up and in. Wildcats basketball. Timeout, Mody Moore.
Well, he's going to want to know where the hustle is. There's a turnover at half court, and only 3 players get back. It was a 10-point lead. Now it's 8. You cannot be outworked on your home court by the Wildcats because they are not going to give up on this lead. They're going to keep coming as we see a beautiful anticipation from Bryce Cotton to get the steal before attacking the rim and allowing his support to play tap in into the eventual Harris bucket.
Bryce Cotton.
How quick is that?
It's so quick. 2 for 7. They've done a good job on him, but you cannot contain Bryce Cotton. He is electric. And Mody Moore, you can see the veins bulging in his neck. That is a regular timeout for Mody Moore. Imploring his team for better heart and hustle in transition, as Casey mentioned. Parker Jackson Cartwright just 1 for 2 at the moment. These 2 elite point guards. Struggling from the floor, but happy to create for others. With 3:56 to go in this first half. And the Breakers up 8.
There's 5 assists for Parker Jackson Cartwright, but 5 assists for Ty Webster for the Perth Wildcats as well. The Wildcats 9 assists on 14 buckets. The Breakers 14 assists already. Both teams really trying to manipulate the defense with that extra pass, zipping around, force those rotations till they get an open look. Perth has got this lead back down to 8 points, starting to play with a little consistency, and we haven't seen the Breakers penetrate the defense with the regularity they did in the first half. Haven't had a lot of consistent drives to the rim, either with the pass or with the dribble penetration here in the latter half of the second quarter.
It's Cheatham. Finds Lamb underneath. Went right between the hands of Pinder on the perfect cut by Lamb, and he gets 2. And Anthony Lamb has 14 in this first half.
And a good screen by William McDowell-White to take Doolittle out of that play.
Webster. Wagstaff. Tough offensive rebound. Cotton. Shoulder shimmy. Gets the call because he's Bryce Cotton. Man, he is absolutely liquid.
Well, he's probably got to be happy that the call was late because it was on the drive, but they call it on the shot. As he ripped through, he got held, and you can take another look here on the skip. He catches it, and McDowell-White grabs him there. That's the foul, but he's able to get that shot up quickly, sell it, and get back to the free throw line to cut this back down to 8 points with makes. And you see William McDowell-White and Bryce Cotton involved there. One of the Perth Wildcat faithful pointed out to you and me on Twitter today that it was 7 years ago today, Nick Tan says, that Bryce Cotton made his debut for the Perth Wildcats. And William McDowell-White in that play as well, debuted as well. Anniversaries.
Also, William McDowell-White heard from Bryce Cotton in free agency in the offseason. A lot of teams were reaching out. A lot of players were reaching out to Will McDowell-White.
A lot of franchises.
He hated the attention by all accounts to Will McDowell-White. He's a breaker for this season. It's Perth now. Down 8. Lamb feeling it. And that is not the offense Mody Maola wanted.
They're so resourceful with the extra passes early as when Jesse Wagstaff hits the triple from the top of the key. But they haven't been as forceful, as meaningful with the pass as of late. They're taking quick shots instead of really working the D.
Wagstaff has 8 in this half. The average is just over 6. Lamb tried to give it to Cheatham. Cheatham gets it back. 8 to shoot. Going at Pinder. Pinder hit him on the arm. And he felt like he chopped down on the ball.
Well, it did look like the ball went straight down, but we heard some contact as well. Sounded like a slap. And Coach Mody Moore is letting Anthony Lamb know that that shot was not acceptable. Take another look at the strip. Looked like a lot of basketball, but that left arm with the body is what got whistled.
Maybe for the Golden State Warriors, where Lamb spent the previous NBA season with, he could take a 3 that early on the shot clock. Casey, do you think Steve Kerr would?
I mean, Steph Curry could. I don't know if that green light goes for everybody.
That's true. Cheatham missing that. Just his second start since coming back from injury. Just
the first free throw attempt for the Breakers here in the second quarter. That's where that penetration to the rim has just died down, and that's enabled the Wildcats to cut this lead to 5.
Well, the Perth Wildcats collectively lead the league in free throw shooting. They are 10 for 10 in this first half. 53-47, that's what's keeping them in it right now. They've been much better in the second quarter rather. Doolittle too strong for Rupstavicius down low.
Really like that recognition by Christian Doolittle, though. He's got Rupstavicius on him, and he realizes it. Well, he does not have the strength for me down to the post. Goes straight down there, taking his time, and look at him. He just gets right in there, gets to the post, and he's I'm going to go to work here. Rupstavicius tries to get a hand in, had a bit of basketball, but the whistle is blown. 5th foul on the Breakers, bonus for the rest of the quarter. Just 2 fouls on the Wildcats up to this point. They can play a little more loosely.
Forgot about Aaron Young as well.
Oh, forgot a coaching staff.
Sorry, Aaron. Assistant coach for John Riley. And he is head coach of the Auckland Tuatara in the Sal's NBL.
Christian Doolittle hits the first, and he's just so important to this Wildcats team as a guy who can obviously be a prolific scorer, but his role this year is to be a connector, to set those screens, to make that foul whiz around, and certainly has proven to be one of their most stout defenders.
Usher comes in on the made free throw. Doolittle will take a seat. Christian Doolittle giving good minutes here. 7 points now, 3 rebounds, and an assist. $53-49, 2:32 to go in this first half. Breakers led by as much as 14. And once again, we see a bigger defender on Parker Jackson Cartwright. That has been a look he has become used to as he turns it over here. Ty Webster looking to Cotton. Cotton, no good. Usher has it. Wagstaff feeling it. Almost bagged it in straight on. Jackson Cartwright crosses half court. Gives it to Mantas. And then that's a charge call. Jesse Wagstaff, vintage Wildcats basketball.
Rupstavicius, I think he just predetermined that move to attack. Had he gone for the lob, Cheatham was wide open. Instead, he picks up his 3rd personal foul and heads to the bench. Great early pass by Jackson Cartwright. See, there's the opportunity right there to Cheatham. Wagstaff read it early, and Rupstavicius probably not super familiar with Jesse Wagstaff, but that charge was always going to come. He was always going to put that body on the line to take an opportunity to defensively win that possession.
So McDowell-White and the Arthur come in for Rupstavicius and Lamb. It's Ty Webster with the ball, under 2 to go in this first half. The Arthur has the assignment to switch from Cheatham, finds Usher. Pinder has it blocked by McDowell-White, and we got a foul underneath. Pinder will go back to the line to shoot 2. Wildcats starting to work it from the foul line now.
And finding a lot of advantage with these switches the Breakers are continually using. Sometimes the Breakers are able to use ball pressure to keep that ball in the post, but this time straight into Keanu Pinder with a strong move, the forearm in the chest of Pinder as he goes up. Easy whistle to be blown.
Keanu Pinder with 10 points, 4 of 5 from the floor here, and he's 1 for 1 from the foul line. And we just got another wet spot. There's Pinder. Who's it from? New Zealand assistant coach Aaron Young.
Taking a little bit more time as the support staff now to make sure that the floor is clear of any kind of wetness. But these breaks, I think, have been beneficial for the Wildcats. They've gotten their width back, and they've been able themselves to settle their defense after scoring, and it's been a couple of opportunities for them to get their wind in this way.
Well, there was a different gear that the Breakers were playing at near the end of that first quarter. And in the second quarter, it has been disjointed for them. The Wildcats started to assert their physicality and their defense. This Pinder is good from the foul line on the second. They're now 14 of 14 from the line. 53-51. Three-guard lineup out there for the Breakers. McDowell White, Liafa has it with Jackson Cartwright in the other corner. Liafa just catching and shooting on that one.
They're just not bending the defense at all. They're settling to a degree that they just weren't doing in the first quarter.
Not a lot of creativity or execution on the offensive end for Modi Moore. Cotton looking at Abercrombie, putting it up with a left high off the glass. Cheatham got a hand to it. Liafa has it. Jackson Cartwright left alone. This is that. Cheatham with the rebound. Doesn't go back up with it, and he's trapped down low.
Kick call.
We've got a kick ball called.
Looks like the ball's going to stay with the Breakers.
We'll go back to 14 after that offensive rebound went down to 12.
A nice transition offense. Good look for Jackson Cartwright there. Thought Cheatham had the put up. Instead, he's looking for teammates and nearly turns it over as, oh, look, Jesse Wagstaff gets called for a kick. I don't actually think he got the contact there. He made the motion, but didn't actually hit it.
Cheatham with the ball. 60 seconds to go. Halftime beckons. Liafa on the baseline. Whistle on the sideline.
Now fouls out on the pass, so there will be no free throws here. Third personal foul on the Wildcats in this quarter.
Second on Usher. So it'll be Breakers ball on the baseline. Will McDowell White.
Jesse Wagstaff, he noticed a few more drops of sweat. Also noticed the chance to get 3 more seconds of rest.
I love it. Wagstaff, he is a student of the game at every opportunity. McDowell White. They sagged off him and he can't get the 3 ball to go down. Breakers have gone cold from deep now. Webster going the other way. Into Abercrombie and Cheatham. No whistle call. Webster hustling back, but it's Parker Jackson Cartwright with Usher on him. Finds Cheatham.
Oh, that's the second chance.
Had a block.
He hit it the second time off the glass. Unbelievable timing by Pinder. Got 2 hands on it in the air.
Jackson Cartwright. Abercrombie. 1 to shoot.
Has to get it up.
And he's fouled, but he took the shot. Just as time wound down, Abercrombie will shoot 2.
Just stretched every millisecond out of that shot clock on that opportunity. Keanu Pinder picks up his 2nd personal foul. And we see that beautiful pass there. Look at that block, gets a piece there and then taps it off the 2nd time. Cheatham wanted to call there, doesn't get it. And then Abercrombie innately knows how much time is left, or maybe he got a little lucky. One or the other, either way, off to the line for a couple of attempts now.
Jesse Wagstaff having a conversation with Vaughan Mabry. Abercrombie at the line. He's an 85% foul shooter this season.
Just adjusting the time on the clock now.
Over 400 games in the NBL. Jesse Wagstaff, probably around 4,000. Feels like he's been around for a very long time, Jesse Wagstaff. Not quite Tony Ronaldson numbers yet, I believe. former Wildcat, former breaker, of course, as well. Sorting out how much time.
They added 0.8 up to 13.9 now, and also took the time to make sure there's no moisture on the floor. Free throws have become so important to the Breakers over this winning streak, but the Wildcats, after that first quarter, shut down those opportunities.
Tom Abercrombie, good from the foul line on that position. Wildcats get the last shot of the half. It's in the hands of Bryce Cotton.
Oh, and the early foul sends him straight to the line.
Liafa.
It certainly wasn't part of the plan with that much time left on the clock and already in the bonus. But it does give the Breakers the opportunity to try and get a bucket on the other way after Bryce Cotton, who is riding a bit of a streak at the free throw line, heads to the stripe.
He's made his last 23 coming into this game. It has Bryce Cotton. Make it 27 in a row. 28 now.
And all of Perth is saying, be quiet, Andrew Mulligan. Stop trying to hit the streak. They're going to count each one.
This is going to go for 29 in a row. Makes it. 16 of 16 for the Wildcats.
Well, the efficiency with which they're scoring has been really impressive here in that second quarter. Looked like the Breakers had found that momentum, especially offensively, but it has been completely taken away. And the Wildcats now, even though they're not shooting the ball great, just 15 for 39 from the field, 38%. They've got 10 offensive rebounds. They're 16 for 16 from the free throw line, and they've pulled even with the Breakers from behind the arc with 7 of 17 from the three-point line.
We'll get one trap. Look, the opposite guy, look to shoot it. Us, you just play center field. I don't want you being aggressive. KP, you're back. Okay?
If he takes it at this side and forces this corner, just keep it heads up. Do that side.
Hey, once we get one trap, just match up. Just match up. Yes, X.
Don't foul 94 feet to the basket. Be the bonus. Pass on three, what's up?
Bryce Cotton, 16 of 16. And the Wildcats from the line. So Bryce Cotton now getting to work from the foul line. 6 of 6, 11 points. And apologies to the Perth Wildcats. The Breakers dragged them all the way to New Plymouth last year.
What are you talking about?
Just the one game at Spark.
Did you skip that road trip, Andrew?
I skipped that one and the one here at Spark.
Auckland only, yeah.
Yeah.
You've changed, bro.
I'm doing the United call on Friday night.
Oh, there we go. Back to New Plymouth we go. Don't just send the Wildcats. That was Ty Webster's debut game last year, I believe.
Here comes Jackson Cartwright. McDell White to close it out. And a prayer is answered for Moni Moore. And the Breakers, as the three is good.
Well, are they going to put time on the clock? I don't know. Was timeout called? Because the ball has gone through the net. You don't stop the ball to make in the first quarter. But there are, I haven't seen time go back onto the clock yet. The Breakers have to be extremely careful not to get a foul. So, like they're putting a second back on there. Was the ball, I wonder if the ball was interfered with after it went through the net.
So it's going to be 0.8 put back on the clock. Any of the clocks.
The crew trying to get that 0.8 on there.
There it is. Oh, you had it. 58-53.
It's reset the clock, so they have to reset because the quarter ended, so they redo that clock, and now we'll figure out. It'll come shortly, I'm sure.
I wonder what you do here with 0.8. I'd go Ty Webster three-quarter court, he makes it, and we go to the halftime break, 58-56.
I'm throwing the lob to Keanu Pinder underneath and hoping to get a whistle going my way as they battle for the basketball.
You're much better at 2K than I am, then. I'm going to get a curl from Webster. He's going to catch it over his shoulder, and then he's going to take a three. a deep,
maybe
deep
one
three.
of us should put the ball in the hands of Bryce Collins.
Maybe we should just wait to see what happens. It's Wagstaff. He puts it up. And we've got half-time here at Spark Arena. 58-53. Breakers with a 5-point lead here at Spark Arena. And it's been a tough second quarter after the Breakers had a 14-point lead in the first. And Brooke Rusko lining up with an interview with Keanu Pinder.
Yeah, Keanu Pinder, slow start to that one. You let the Breakers get a bit of a lead, but you chipped away, you grinded away in that second quarter. What changed?
We just got to stick with it. You know, that they got up on us, but we did all the little things to get back in the game, and now we're only 5 points down. So
we expect nothing less. It's a heavyweight match every time you guys play. How do you guys close this one, take the crowd out, and get a road win?
We just got to play hard and play consistent. No turnovers, and just keep playing hard. I think we're going to take this one.
Good luck in the second. And Zylan makes his way in here too. You're coming off injury, you're finding more minutes in there, you're scoring a little bit more. How are you finding it? What'd you like in that first 20?
It's been a good week of practice. We've been prepared for this. I like the intensity that we came out with. We let up a little bit, so we got to pick that back up, but I like the defensive intensity.
I know imports know imports, and Bryce Cotton is one import that's been here for 7 years now and does this thing. What coverages might he see and looks might he see in the second to close out this one?
I'm not going to give away our looks, but, I mean, we just got to make it tough for him. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He can get it going in a hurry, so we got to try to keep that to a minimum.
Almost 60 in the first. Good luck in the second.
So we go to the break at 58-53. Brooke and Casey will break it down for you at halftime.
Welcome into your Hungry Jacks highlights here at Spark Arena. It is 58-53 to the Breakers, and as a fan, I love that, filling it up. The defense could change on both sides in this in the second, but I love how they filled it up in the first.
Well, Breakers came out efficient offensively, really moving the ball well and forcing the Perth Wildcats to try and play catch-up with their rotations. Then that second quarter came along. Bryce Cotton got his eye, and Keanu Pinder started playing with a bit more consistency inside, and the Wildcats gummed things up with a more of a zone defense, forcing the Breakers to get a little tentative and allowing themselves to get back in the game with big transition buckets.
Well, we said this as we were talking to Keanu Pinder, but we expect nothing less. It is a heavyweight matchup every time these two teams go toe-to-toe in Case. As you see this right here, what takes you away?
Well, first and foremost is the field goal percentage for the Wildcats. Breakers did a nice job early especially, but they were able to climb back into things. But if I'm the Breakers, I'm really concerned about those 16 free throw attempts to just 8 for the Breakers themselves. That kind of discrepancy is what the Perth Wildcats and Bryce Cotton can really feed on to get this game in their hands late.
Well, one person who was feeding during that first, and we expect nothing less at this point. He has been busy since he got here, was Anthony Lamb, 5 of 7 from the floor with 14 points in that first half.
And they got him the ball early, and he was taking advantage of the defense in multiple ways, moving without the basketball, getting the ball up high with that early shot. Let that one fly, started to feel good, was moving the basketball as well as defenders started to respect that jump shot. He got hot early. As he got cold, he took one late that Modi Moore didn't like, but the work on the offensive glass, always great. He can score in so many different ways. You have to be so concerned about him. Makes it really tough on the defenders.
Well, love the way he plays. He would be an absolute bucket at the Y. I can guarantee you that, and this is why 5 of 7. Zylan Cheatham was 5 of 7 in that first as well. A couple from the free throw and a couple from deep. Bryce Cotton, on the other hand, slower from him from the field goal, 2 of 9, but 6 of 6. Did a good job of getting to that free throw line.
All about free throws for Bryce Cotton. He was able to get to the line, even though he's not shooting the ball well to start the first quarter. He started to find his way in. Started off 1 for 5, and then in that second quarter went 1 for 4. Just 2 of 9 from the field for those 11. But that ability to get to the free throw line, that ability to get baskets going, even though you're not shooting the ball your best, is so important for this Wildcat side and the second leading scorer in the competition.
Wow, he can fill it up at any given moment. We were talking about this before. They are 7-1 when he goes for 25 plus, and he's sitting right there at the moment if he can fill it up.
And if I'm the Breakers, I'm concerned. We've held him to that first field goal percentage. He's still got 11 points. If I'm them, I'm expecting Bryce Cotton to come out with a big one in the second half and end up around 27, 30 points.
Talking about some players who aren't here, Alex Starr isn't, but Mantis Rupertistis is here, and he is the absolute mantis. The way he is going, he missed maybe one lob to Zylan that would have been a highlight, but outside of that, he got it going nice and early. What do you like about him, and how is he continuing to grow up that mock draft mock?
Well, obviously his efficiency. He's such an efficient player. He doesn't take bad shots, and even though he's young, he doesn't make many bad decisions. He's normally making the right play. He works extremely hard on both ends. You saw the defensive matchup he had today. He started off on Bryce Cotton. That's not easy for a young player to do that on one side and still stay involved on the other end, and you love to see those kind of opportunities for growth and development.
Well, the chess match between the Breakers and the Wildcats that has been going on for a decade now continues. We will be right back after the break for the second half.
my hooky, my welcome back to Spark Arena, where it is the Breakers that lead 58 points to 53. And I'll tell you what, at one point they were leading by 14 points, but the Wildcats came back after a little bit of an inaccurate second quarter. But one thing I will say is that the Perth Wildcats have won each of their last 7 games against the Breakers when trailing at halftime. So currently they do trail, and if history does repeat itself, they could be in for a win over the Breakers today. But Brooke, I'm pretty sure that they have other words to say about that.
Yeah, talking to Coach Modi at halftime, he said one thing about this Perth Wildcats team, and he's not wrong at all. He said they're very good at basketball, and we need to limit their runs. They are going to go on runs. It's how can we slow those runs down and get this crowd back into it. So that's one thing for the Breakers. On the other side, the Perth Wildcats like the energy in the second. It was a grind. They love what Wagstaff does, but just keep talking, keep crashing those offensive glass, get to the boards, and get to that free throw line. We've got a heavyweight matchup going on. 20 minutes to go.
Thank you, team. 58-53. A minute to go in this halftime break. The Perth Wildcats grinding it out, and Keanu Pinder has been immense at both ends of the floor for the visitors.
Well, he's played so well in the absence of Alex Sarr. He was the guy who had to step up. He couldn't get himself in foul trouble. He had to be determined with the basketball, and he's done that. 12 points on 4 of 5 from the field, and solid defense on the other end as well, getting himself involved without getting in foul trouble. Just the 2 fouls in that first half. If you can continue to play with that kind of efficiency and draw multiple defenders, look for the Wildcats to get that inside-outside flow going to get those shooters a little bit of space on the perimeter.
Ty Webster and Bryce Cotton in the backcourt for the Wildcats. They are a handful. The Breakers have done a decent job containing them from the floor, but Bryce Cotton has initiated and taken some contact in that first half, and the craftiness that he possesses as an elite scorer in this league. 6 of 6 from the floor. And the Wildcats did a very good job in that second quarter, slowing down the high-octane Breakers offense in that first quarter. Will be too little to get us underway here in the second half. Spark Arena on their feet. Ty Webster. Stavicius and Lamb pick up Cotton. Doolittle swings it to Harris. That 3 is good. Reversal from the Wildcats pays dividends.
Well, they're happy to let Hiram Harris shoot that ball from deep. They don't fear his shooting ability, but he's going to be able to make shots like that. They're going to have to bend that just a little bit.
Here's Jackson Cartwright. Pinder on him. Cheatham. Clean look, and Matiang didn't play a whole lot in that second quarter, and he couldn't quite corral that rebound.
This amoeba-like zone matchup, man, switching man, what it is the Perth Wildcats are playing has really gummed up the offense for the Breakers. They've lost that definitiveness they were playing in the first half. I'd like to see Parker Jackson Cartwright get that 1-4 flat and attack with the drive.
Cotton gets loose. Harris tried to affect the rebound, but it's Lamb who has it for the Breakers. Spark Arena looking for that bucket as Pinder gets his hands on it, and then Lamb gets it back to Jackson Cartwright.
Hot potato, who wants the ball? Had that cut. Mantis was wide open underneath as Bryce Cotton went for that second pass. This is one of the few teams in the league that this Breakers lineup really matches up well with in terms of size. I'd like to see them get a bit more determined and get that ball in the paint.
Stavicius gives it back, Lamb. Jackson Cartwright gets it back to Anthony Lamb. Too hard off the back of the iron, and Hiram Harris has the board. Hiram Harris with 5 rebounds and 7 points in this game. It goes off his legs, and it's going to be Breakers' ball.
Well, nice hand. That would have been a surefire layup had he been able to corral that cleanly, but instead, just I think it was Parker Jackson Cartwright gets a hand in to knock it away. Nice roll, good find from the weak side on Pinder, can't catch it, and then knocked away a second time there by PJC. Straight to the cup, PJC finding Cheatham. He lets it fly in the corner, and 2 for 2 from deep in that right side corner is Cheatham.
15 for Cheatham, he leads all scorers. Lamb with 14. Hiram Harris with the right hand.
The slow step, taking his time on the drive. It is a lazy Sunday afternoon after all.
9 for him. Dropping it off to Metiang, and Pinder blocks him.
Pinder has been fantastic with his protection in the rim as that last line of defense.
Webster. Can't get it to go down. But Jackson Cartwright is called for the foul.
Well, does not look like Parker Jackson Cartwright. Was that Mango Matiang that they called, number 8?
It is on Matiang, excuse me, that's his 3rd.
You see that block by Pinder meeting Matiang on the 12th floor, up and above the rim. Excellent aggression by Matiang, better timing by Pinder on the block.
Tough afternoon for Ty Webster from the floor, 0 for 6. Does have 4 rebounds and 6 assists and a steal.
He's still influencing the game. He is having maybe the worst shooting game of his year of his career. I've never seen him shoot the ball this poorly. I think he's under 20% from 3, and he's normally a really aggressive offensive player, but that hasn't stopped his aggressiveness in other areas. When you can't shoot, affected in other ways.
Shooting 36% this season from the floor to 16 from beyond the arc. Jackson Cartwright over the top of Hiram Harris, in and out. It's just not dropping for Parker Jackson Cartwright. And Rivstovichus, that is foul number 4 on him.
He's in decent defensive position. Bryce Cotton just forces the action there, and that's the 4th personal foul there on Rivstovichus. That's gonna cause some problems. Gonna have to, looking like changing the rotation up, and Isaiah Liapa comes into the game. And take another look at Rivstovichus. When he's shuffling that hip, Cotton's got that space there. He just has to give it up. Even though his hands are out, he's moving that body into Cotton's body there.
Dane Pino is in the game. He's been pretty good off the bench in this 4-game win streak that the Breakers are currently on. Hasn't seen any first half action though. Hiram Harris is looking to go at him. And that's just great offense from Hiram Harris. He wanted the foul call. He has a case as well. 11 for him.
Hiram Harris, ISO, going to work here in the second half. Hit the 3, has the drives.
Jackson Cartwright going at Hiram Harris now. Hangs in the air and puts it in.
But I think the Wildcats are happy with this kind of offense from the Breakers. They're doing it one-on-one, and when they get stagnant like this is when they've struggled historically this season.
Cotton. Went for the steal, and 1! Bryce Cotton doing what Bryce Cotton does.
The space he creates, even on that catch, the space he creates, he's able to get it and somehow get an extra half a meter outside beyond the line when Liapa's challenging that ball. Just on that catch, he creates it, and then Liapa's out of position. He gets so quick, feels that contact from Parker Jackson Cartwright, and the beautiful finger roll to finish things. Maybe hot outside, but it is icy cold when Bryce Cotton's got the ball.
Bryce Cotton has played all but 1 minute of this game. He plays around 38 of the 40-minute game. He never looks fatigued. Jackson Cartwright puts it up for Cheatham. And that's the danger of the Jackson Cartwright drive.
And that's the aggressiveness they need. They cannot be passive against the Perth Wildcats pressure. They have to punish those attacks of Jackson Cartwright above the 3-point line.
Webster, 2 breakers on the floor. Great look from Hiram Harris, creating again for the Wildcats to Pinder.
Harris's fingerprints all over this 3rd quarter. He is willing the Wildcats to a higher level of execution on offense.
Jackson Cartwright with the left off the glass. Good challenge. Doolittle cleans it up. Cotton crosses half court.
Pinder again with the challenge, really protecting that rim.
Oh, Bryce Cotton again, cooking at Spark.
Well, I think it was what he had 6 points at quarter time, most of them on free throws, that the Breaker, I said this Breaker should be concerned because he doesn't have his eye in yet, but he's still successfully manipulating the defense, still getting to the line, and now he is cooking. He is cooking with LPG. There is a barbecue going on, and it's to whatever defender is on Bryce Cotton in the half court.
He is 7 for 7 from the line. He's 16 points. He's got 2 assists and a steal. Bryce Cotton looking all NBL as he always does every season in this game.
Up to 17.
5-point Wildcats lead. Lamb gets it back. Cheatham with the screen tied up with Webster momentarily. 6 to shoot now for the Breakers. And then Parker Jackson Cartwright tangled up and goes down. And Pinder got a lot of him. Well, not much to him, to be honest.
Able to punish that mismatch that time because he doesn't step back to pull it out. He turns on the jets once Pinder steps up. And they're working out who that foul's on, and it's Alan Pinder. It's his 3rd personal. Ty Webster trying to play claim for it.
No next star, and Alex Saar out with a hip complaint. So Keanu Pinder playing a big role at the 5 spot.
Breakers have to continue to attack Pinder. He's been so influential in this game and forced John Riley to make some decisions onto who should come onto the bench after that. Right now, rolling with Pinder, happy to have him play with the 3 fouls.
Parker Jackson Cartwright has 8 assists. He's now 1 of 2 from the foul line after that. And it's 5 points. Doolittle misses that. Liafa with the board. Lamb on the drive. Abercrombie in the corner. Lamb gets it back. Harris with a great closeout. Webster has it. He's going to go downhill with Harris. Now he's got to back down Jackson Cartwright, and it's in the hands of Bryce Cotton. Liafa all over him. The switch, but he separates the defense. Doolittle trying to find Pinder, and that's just patience and execution from the Wildcats.
Well, Cotton wanted Doolittle to shoot that corner 3. He wanted to force the defense to get punished, but nice patience by Doolittle finding Pinder, who continues his tear. He's up to 16.
Lead is 4. Abercrombie recovers it. Already coming up, 6 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. Lamb spins into the body.
That's a strong move.
That's so strong, and it's Ty Webster who caught all of that Anthony Lamb shoulder.
If you're wondering how Anthony Lamb is able to find such good scoring opportunities, it's because he's always balanced. Look at that spin move, not off balanced at all. He's not leaning, he's not off platform. He could just basically take a pole, put it straight up and down, and it's on that back, that spinal line for him. Just perfect balance, perfect footwork in the post when he gets that, picks that ball up.
And he didn't bend right down and drive the point of the shoulder into Ty Webster's chest there. Just trusted those broad shoulders, the strength that he possesses to clear that space, and sends Ty Webster to the floor, and that's why he's at the line.
He understands how to punish that mismatch physically without being obvious about it. And a little bit easier to do when you're about 6'7" across on the shoulders.
Webster, no, using that speed to get around the Breakers defense, and there it is from Ty Webster, his first bucket from the floor.
He's fortunate to get that in. Should have gone for the dunk, but Cheatham nearly snuck away 2 points. Breakdown defensively by the Breakers.
He gave it a little wag with the finger, not this time, my friends. Lamb and Cheatham operating. Lamb just going to work around. Doolittle getting the and 1. And there it is again. The footwork and the patience of Anthony Lamb in the key.
The balance, so well balanced underneath us. Zion Cheatham heads to the bench. Dan Fotu's first minutes of the game. A little spin move here comes in, and then the step through. And Doolittle says he's got his hand straight up, but you see that's not vertical. He's jumping out towards Lamb. He's floating in. That's where the contact is. That's where the foul whistle is blown. Good call made. Breakers got a chance to cut it to 1 possession with a make here. 19 for Cheatham and 16 for Lamb, who was 6 for 10 from the field. Make that 18.
Anthony Lamb Lamb averaging 20.2. It's 19 now on that made free throw. Cotton with the right hand, another and one. That's the third of the quarter for Bryce Cotton.
Putting in work. The man, the myth, the legend. He's striking at a New Zealand Breakers team again. Gets the fourth personnel foul whistled on Isaiah Liafa, and there are real issues with trying to guard Bryce Cotton right now. Roops the Vicious, he picked up his fourth.
There is 5 Breakers players in the key trying to work out how to stop that man on your screen right now.
Many have tried, none have succeeded.
Zero, zilch.
Somebody might have had a good quarter here
Somebody
or there.
somewhere made life a little bit difficult for Bryce Cotton.
And he is sleeping on that for the rest of his life. He will wear those accolades.
Do you know or no? Huh? What? He switched. Ty can't dribble. Why the fuck does Whitestop get the ball? Ty picked up the ball and he's dead. And you let him go set up a handoff in the middle. Isaiah's doing the work, but they're working for him. You gotta be there. Hey, you gotta be there with intensity. On offense. Let's get chest 3. Chest 3, Will. Press, no press. If you need to call flow, you're the 5, and you're the 4. But chest 3, Will, bring it down.
And we got a coach's challenge on this one.
Looks like a whiff. Where it depends on where they called the foul. I didn't hear specifically if it was on the arm, if it was with the body. But here we have Vaughn Mayberry with the decision.
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor stands. We have a hands foul on Liafa on the gather. 1 bonus shot to Cotton.
So gets the continuation, the hand foul on the gather. Liafa disagrees. It wasn't that late swipe at the basketball. It was earlier in as he's picking that ball up, and you take a look at it here. It's that little arm there, that little arm on the hip that goes in. And if you're calling that one, you're going to be going to the free throw like a lot today.
He makes it 89% from the line into this game, and he's 9 for 9 now. That is the 4th foul on Isaiah Liafa. Roops Tavicius has 4 as well for the Breakers. Dan Futu is in the game. Will McDowell-White back out there. 7 to shoot. Lamb just going to drive and get it done with the right hand. Anthony Lamb getting to work in the third as well.
Have to penetrate the defense. Anthony Lamb's been aggressive here in the third. He is up to 19 points now. Oh, sorry, 21 points now.
Roops Tavicius about to check back in the game. Crossover. Cotton. And another one. Cotton going back to the line to shoot 3.
And the crowd has had enough of watching the Bryce Cotton parade.
I can tell you what, this crowd, they better get used to it, because this is what Bryce Cotton does.
He's just so good.
He torments defenses.
You just don't know what to guard. You have to be concerned with the quickness. You obviously have to be concerned with the shot. And they're just
got him on the arm.
Just a flick on the arm there.
It's got him on the elbow. Like, that's a foul. Anywhere in the world, that's a foul. It's unfortunate Dan Futu just trying to do his best and contest an elite shooter in the NBL. His field goal percentage doesn't suggest it, but he is creating opportunities for himself from the free-throw line. And that's what scorers like Bryce Cotton do. They find ways to kill you. 3 for 3. 12 for 12 in the game. 23 for Cotton. McDowell-White picks up his dribble. Doodle back to Lamb. Usher shadowing a double because there's a mismatch. Futu in the corner. 5 to shoot. Back to Lamb. 3 to shoot. Trying to get into Wagstaff.
Foul call.
And a black blocking foul on Jesse Wagstaff. I'm gonna shock you, Casey.
Yeah.
That's just the first foul on Jesse Wagstaff in this game.
It's because he knows how to move the feet.
Certainly does. He's been in this league a long time.
Knows how to move the feet, knows how to affect things with his body, not his hands. And that time he just stretches over there, not a clean contact, slides over to the right. And Anthony Lamb doing his best Bryce Cotton impersonation on the other end of continually getting himself to the free throw line. This is his 6th attempt, and 7 after this, 6 for 6 from the stripe.
This is what the league's leading scorers look like. Anthony Lamb at one end, going to work, taking guys off the dribble. Bryce Cotton creating all sorts of different looks, punishing and breaking the Breakers' defense, as well as Cheatham checks in for 4-2.
Lamb is finding his success as the league's leading lead scorer, but Parker Jackson Cartwright, the 3rd leading scorer, still just sitting on 5 points. The Wildcats have kept his scoring under wraps, even though he has 8 assists.
Wagstaff looking for help, finds Doolittle. Christian Doolittle with McDowell White on him. 8 to shoot, lost the handle, picks it up. Wagstaff under 5. On the drive, Jesse Wagstaff has 10.
Brings it back to the right hand. Looked like he was going to go to the weak side of the rim there to finish with the left, but takes away the blocking and leaping ability of Cheatham by going back to the right hand. It was a slow rolling drive, but eventually gets there. And look at the body control to get it around as he then tries to milk the call.
Wildcats lead is 7. These two teams in ascension on the NBL ladder. Breakers have won the last 4. McDowell White too heavy with the left. 3 of the last 4 have been a Wildcat win. Cotton, and he's pushed.
Oh, Mantis just found out. The push
to Vitreous is out of the game with 5.
The push was on Jordan Usher, who goes into Cotton. They're calling that. And I believe the Breakers have used their challenge. So even if this isn't the call, which from this angle didn't look like a push, take another look at it.
He just gets tangled up with his own player.
Sorry, I was wrong. It's not on Mantis, that's on William McDowell White, who's nowhere near the play. And that's a T on Modi Moore as well. T on the Breakers bench.
They are livid here at Spark.
Well, I don't see where the contact is.
I tell you what, this Spark crowd, they tolerate a lot. When they start booing, you know that they are annoyed. It's not quite RAC Arena.
Not sure where William McDowell White was in this play to get whistled for it. Sorry, they've changed it now. It's Anthony Lamb. He's picked up foul number 3. So that makes more sense now. His hand was on Cotton on that drive.
Bryce Cotton just left it up there. Just left it up there a little bit longer for the Spark Bluebirds.
Well, they're feeling pretty blue right now watching this guy score as we take another look. That's the drive previous to that.
So that was the T. And this is the team fouls that Cotton is shooting now.
And this is Bryce Cotton continuing his perfection at the line. 13 for 13. 15 for 15, sorry.
McDowell White. Lamb. 1:20 to go. Cheatham down low. And then we've got 3 in the key. Ty Webster pumped, had the challenge of Cheatham, and Cheatham kicked it back out and didn't get out of the key in time. And a Breakers turnover. That is number 6.
Breakers have not been able to punish the switches with enough consistency to force the Wildcats away from it. And they've been able to stretch out this lead with the defensive versatility they've shown in this half.
With those foul shots, Bryce Cotton now over 25 points. They're 7-1 in the last 8 as Webster gets free and looks at his hand.
No communication, just a complete breakdown. Everybody matched up on Bryce Cotton. Nobody switches over, nobody rotates. And Ty Webster a couple of easy looks because of that.
This is easily the Wildcats' largest lead of the night as McDowell White tries to go through everybody, poked away, 8 to shoot. McDowell White using Cheatham with the screen with the on ball and finds him with a wraparound pass and the flourish.
Well, he They've got to get Cheatham involved in pick and roll more often. The pick and roll has been the Breakers' best weapon. The Wildcats struggling against it. Beautiful pass by WMW there for the assist.
Now, the veteran defender of Abercrombie has the Cotton assignment. Shot clock is off. Webster in the corner, Doolittle kicking it out. Wagstaff! In and out. Lamb with it, 3 to shoot. Third quarter winding down. Anthony Lamb will go to the fourth quarter with a 10-point Wildcats lead, 87-77. 10 minutes to go at Spark. The Wildcats, the visitors, up by double digits. Spark Arena 87-71. The Wildcats with the lead. Brooke.
You guys have talked about this a lot during the commentary in these first 3 quarters. You saw it in the first. The ball has stuck with the Breakers in the second and the third. Have to get that ball moving again. The ball will find energy. As there's a blocking foul, Island picks up the foul and goes to the free throw line. They have 2 offenses that they're going to look at right now. The Perth Wildcats are in a switching defense, so they think their #1 offense is on that switch. Is Parker Jackson Cartwright getting to the rim and making options happen out of that. The second one is Zylan or Anthony Lamb in their high pick and roll. Taylor, what'd you hear?
Well, on the Wildcats bench, it was quite interesting. All they said was, guys, let's stay off the refs. They know that the refs are feeling the heat after a couple of those calls. They're getting it from the crowd. They're getting it from the Breakers. They said, let's stay on their side. Let's stay composed. Let's keep up that same effort. But equally, they also said, let's try and force those long shots. Don't let them get any points in the paint because, as you said, guys, their pick and rolls are what's effective for the Breakers. If they can force them wide, they're not that accurate at the moment. So if they can keep doing that, then they're in for it.
I think Team Zylan Cheatham misses the second after making the first. 87-78. Cheatham has 20 now. Lamb has 23. Bryce Cotton has 26. And he has 28, getting free on the baseline.
Well, perfectly set up play, designed coming out of the quarter break to get Bryce Cotton on that backdoor action. You have to be so concerned about him out on the perimeter. Easy for him to get him space inside.
Jesse Wagstaff doing what Jesse Wagstaff does.
Strong fight there, not letting Cheatham get great position.
Doolittle looking for an option. Usher on the baseline. Gives it to Webster. Webster knocks down that 3 and looks up to the Spark roof and talks everything.
He said he had something special coming back to New Zealand. He loves to come home and play in Auckland, his hometown, and he's doing it with style.
Jackson Cartwright had to fire it out, and it's going to be Ty Webster at the other end as the Moppets tried to get out of the way. My goodness, it is back and forth. Rustavichus to Cheatham, going for three again. Left it short. It fell to Mantas' hands, and it went out off him, and it's going to be Wildcats basketball.
The newer style of basketball, when you have a 3-on-2 break and shoot a corner three, drives me insane. Get on the rim, force this team to play defense in the perimeter, get yourself a bucket. You're down 14. You need something positive. You need some energy coming out of it. Instead, an empty possession.
Cotton again gets loose. He's absolutely cooking the breakers right now.
Well, they've just got him on that weak side. The defender is so tight to him that the second he catches it, he got that back door, and without any help, easy layups. Great design by John Riley.
30 for Cotton. Foul by Doolittle. Second team foul for the Wildcats.
What a turnaround.
94-78.
Down 14 points in that first quarter. And since that first quarter, have just completely turned it on.
That is 14 fouls on Christian Doolittle. So John really has a little bit of a problem here, although he is up 14. Rustavichus. Lamb. Great closeout, but a little bit too aggressive as the shot clock expired from Hiram Harris. So Anthony Lamb will go to the line to shoot three.
Fortuitous for the Breakers. Nothing really going in that possession. With the shot clock running out, just a mistake by Harris enables them to get some gleam of confidence from it. A chance to break 80 as Mengo Matiang checks back into the ball game. Just under 9 minutes up to this point, looking to affect things on the interior.
Anthony Lamb missing the first, 94-78. Hiram Harris and Matiang having a little bit of a chat.
All friendly. Or are they just saying, my elbow's going to come pretty quickly here. Mine's going to come a little bit more powerfully.
It has been a mixed bag for the Breakers at home as Andrew Webster, head coach of the Warriors, looking on here at Spark Arena. Up the was. Waxar, looking for Cotton. Cotton, look at everyone panic. Good closeout by Lamb, but he gets it back, of course he does. Floater game too strong, but Usher on the glass.
Usher hasn't had a lot of activity with the ball in hand today, but his energy has been excellent. Defensively, sliding, working hard. Up to 7 points now with that hustle play.
Oh, Jackson Cartwright felt like he got tripped in one of the foul calls, so he flipped it up. No whistle coming. Usher the other way. Webster looking with the right hand, he gets it. Ty Webster. Welcome back to Auckland.
The Perth Wildcats just flew into the country last night, flying right back after this. Didn't even want to customize or acclimatize themselves to the New Zealand time zone.
Well, when this game tipped off, it was 11 a.m. local for the Wildcats faithful in Perth. Hiram Harris just
good D.
Tied him up.
Got his hand on the ball, and then another cut without the basketball. Moving without the basketball. The defense of the Breakers looking at the ball in hand, getting caught flat-footed. Down to 18 now.
Up with him, unders with everybody else. No more tablets and denies. Defense square. You got Ty, you got Usher. Clear or no? Got it? On the make, 21. You have it. What? No, on 21, yes. Don't worry, everybody's in the paint. Next play, C4. Hey, C4, Isaiah, run off. Hey, boys, if you make a run now, with 3 minutes to go, make this a 10, 8, 9-point game, we win. Yeah.
Let's go. Stay together, man. Together on three. 1, 2, 3, together.
98-80 This Wildcats team are just making it absolute hell for the Breakers right now. Cam Glidden is in the game.
A little time for Cam Glidden to get hot lit from three. And Modi Moore spoke this week about why the Breakers are finding success, and it's because this team, he feels, finally found their roles. Well, you could certainly say this.
Jackson Cartwright out of the timeout, 98-80. Breakers looking for answers. Jackson Cartwright is fouled by Hiram Harris. Cam Glidden seen some action in the fourth quarter here. Hasn't seen a lot of action across this 4-game win streak. The Breakers are probably staring down the barrel of ending here as Hiram Harris picks up his fourth. He can't believe it. But is he going to listen to the John Riley advice and not get on the referees? He's clearly picked up what he was saying to himself.
Yeah, keeping it mostly internal. Parker Jackson Cartwright comes through and gets him on the arm. What are you complaining about, Hiram? Come on, brother. I love what I've seen from the Wildcats throughout this game, though. Started behind the 8-ball, didn't play well, but never changed their attitude, never changed their work pace, just picked up the work rate, started playing a little bit more intelligently, offensively, and got the ball to a man named Bryce Cotton, which is never a bad thing to do.
Webster for three. Matiang tracks it down. Lamb. Glidden for three. Comes in cold and knocks it down.
Stays hot. Stays hot, Cam Glidden. Doesn't play for 33.5 minutes, but the second he touches the ball, nothing but twine.
That's tough to do when you're a shooter coming off the bench, and it's the fourth quarter. 45% from three this season. But Ty Webster and Jesse Wagstaff connect here, and Webster tracks down the long rebound, and Cotton has it in his hands.
13th offensive rebound of the game for the Wildcats.
Usher, myriad of jab steps. Fall away over Lamb. Glidden with the rebound. PJC looking at Lamb. Glidden again. Cotton with his rebound. Crosses midcourt. Spins. And then pulls it back out.
Well, the clock is their friend. They've got the big lead. They've got just 5 minutes left in this ball game. But they need to have better, more fruitful possessions than that.
Liafa for three on the trailer.
Is that a foul? Matiang, that is his fifth.
That is his fifth, and there is Hiram Harris and Matiang getting tangled up, and that is his fourth, rather.
Pardon me, sorry about that, Bulls. Steered you wrong.
Pino will check into the game for Matiang, who sits with four.
Well, 14 points the difference. The Wildcats can't just shut up shop and run out the clock. They have to stay aggressive offensively. The Breakers have enough shooters to shoot their way back into the ball game. 10 for 27 from the three-point stripe tonight for 37%.
Breakers put 35 on the Wildcats in the first quarter. Wildcats come back and put 34 on them in the third quarter. They have a 14-point lead with 5:07 to go in the game. Pinder, Dame Pino gets called for the foul on that.
I really like the play design. That 5 out, allowing Pinder to come and get that catch at that 15-foot spot and really take advantage of his skill set. Dame Pino on an island trying to defend by himself. Too much arm. Back to the free throw line where the Wildcats are 27 for 27. Make it 28 for 28.
I wonder what the NBL record is for most made foul shots without a miss in history. Keanu Pinder will go for 29 of 29 here. Perfection again.
Water. No effect. 16 points to deficit as the Wildcats continue to pressure Parker Jackson Cartwright up front, not letting him get easy carries. Just 6 points on 2 of 7 shooting for Cartwright.
Glidden goes for three. In! It goes for Cam Glidden. He's 2 of 3 off the bench.
A lot of action there. The most movement we've seen from the Breakers in a while offensively. You see it gave Perth trouble, eventually finding the open man.
Usher. Lamb with the board. PJC in amongst the traffic and lost the handle, had it poked away. Harris gives it to Usher, and Usher can't get it to go down. Missed opportunity for the Wildcats. Breakers get another life here. Jackson Cartwright with just 6 in the game. Liafa for 3.
Great looks for the Breakers on multiple possessions. The Wildcats just hanging on with that defensive rebound though.
They were trading threes at the start of the game. Here's Cotton. Cheatham on an island. Michael Harris picks up his dribble, poked away. One of the best in the NBL with steals. It's PJC with a steal. Cheatham, Glidden. Lamb with the little up fake. Pinder with great defense. Lamb again, trying to find some sort of offense for the Breakers. Cheatham in the end one. And the patience from the Breakers. It didn't look clean, but it works for them in that possession.
Well, they were forced into extra ball movement, but that's been the secret to their success against the Wildcats in the half court. Keanu Pinder tries to challenge without fouling, but picks up his 4th regardless. Look at this great defense underneath. Unbelievable recovery. Might have been a little bit of a travel by Lamb, but then eventually to get down, Pinder does look like he goes pretty straight up.
Pinder does a great job there.
It's pretty straight up there. But he doesn't argue. He listens to his coach's advice earlier, stays off the officiating crew.
Cheatham converts.
He's up to 25 points now.
Lamb with the rebounds. Breakers can cut into single digits here. Cheatham. It's Lamb to PJC has a mismatch. Going at Pinder. Deflection, Liafa has it. Still 10 on the shot clock. Lamb, Cotton on his hip. Turns it over, Usher gets into it. Pinder's down with an ankle injury. Pinder is down and he is not getting up. Ty Webster and him got tangled up, and Keanu Pinder is down. That is disastrous.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't see him fall, but he is obviously in pain. As Jordan Usher pushes the pace in transition and draws the foul. Take another look at it. Usher reads it correctly. Oh, and they just come, Ty Webster comes right on his heel.
That's just an unfortunate basketball play.
You see
Keanu Pinder.
Oh, that's right on the side.
Oh, he's up and walking about, though.
That is going to be stiff on the flight home.
Upgrade him. Put him in business. Give him all the ice. Meanwhile, 100 to 90. And Isaiah Liafa is done for the Breakers. As Usher makes that one.
How about the aggressiveness of Usher on that fast break? 1-on-3. He got distracted by the Pinder injury, but putting a lot of pressure on himself in that situation when the clock is your friend. But he produces 2 more made free throws. Cats stay perfect.
PJC gets around Usher.
Got to have that weak side when you're asking one of the wings to guard PJC on the perimeter.
Modi wants an arm bar on Webster on the push-off. PJC all over him. Doolittle. Cam Glidden got him. So more shots coming for the Wildcats from the foul line. 31 of 31 in this game, other visitors.
Tristan Doolittle checking that ball out. Pretty purposeful foul there by Cam Glidden. Once he got to that position, he wasn't going to allow him the opportunity to finish. Makes him earn it at the line. quite a few players with 4 personal fouls now. Doolittle is one of them as he misses the first free throw of the game for the Wildcats. Doolittle with 4, Hiram Harris with 4, Tinder with 4, although his day's probably done. Rich the Vicious has 4 as well, and Liafa fouled out.
Oh, he missed both! Gets his own rebound! Of course he does!
Keeps it going, silences the crowd.
Wagstaff giving it back to Doolittle. Christian Doolittle with the right-hand drive. Cheatham stays upright. Wagstaff on the other side gets the ball back.
Extra opportunities, offensive rebound number 15.
Webster spinning, finds Doolittle. And we got a foul. It's going to be on PJC with the reach in.
We had an offensive foul called on the baseline, but a different call from the sideline, the hand getting in, the third on PJC.
And that is shots coming up again. Christian Doolittle on this drive.
Taking another look at it, the drop off. He tries to come through, and
Cheatham with his heels up on that charge circle, but the reach in by Jackson Cartwright is what's called, and that's why Christian Doolittle is at the line with the ball in his hands. He went 0 for 2 on the last visit just seconds ago. Nothing but nylon.
Bounces back.
33 of 35. And we need some towels to wipe up some sweat here.
Just icing the shooter just a bit. Make him think about it. If I'm Christian Doolittle, I'm saying you could wait till after I shoot the ball to get those guys out. But instead, a chance to make it 12 once the young fellas do their job.
With Doolittle at the line. Makes the second. 11-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Breakers will need to pull out something special. It's been an impressive 3 quarters of basketball for the Wildcats. Rustavicius with a floater. Good defense. Wildcat type of defense.
Perth has been so solid in rotation in the second half. Just not giving up much penetration, and when it does come, the rotations were so pinpoint.
Doolittle going to work inside of Rustavicius.
He hits double figures, 11 points for him now to go along with 6 boards and 5 assists.
Glidden lets it fly, knocks down another 3 in the quarter for Cam Glidden.
Get me in the ball game, coach. He's got a flame.
Stays with the Wildcats. It has been a matchup that is won by Bryce Cotton in this game. Bryce Cotton, 30 points, 7 of 17. Parker Jackson Cartwright, just 8. And across the court it goes to Usher. Webster and the Wildcats happy to work it down here. Looking to back down with 2 to shoot. Ball away, Webster. Jesse Wagstaff.
Is that PJC with the foul?
Jesse Wagstaff.
He just knows how to get the whistle.
He knows.
He just knows.
PJC just trying to box out the weak side.
Well, that's the foul on PJC.
And that is his 4th.
And
Look at this, tangling up with Jesse Wagstaff. He just pulls him down. A little bit of a hip toss.
Wagstaff, he knows how to make himself felt. 4th foul on PJC. PJC, 8 points now. Jesse Wagstaff, 10 already. Has found his form after a slow start.
They have won their last 8 versus the Breakers when trailing at halftime. And they've won 8 of their last 9 versus the Breakers in this game. They are just having a field day in the second half.
Did somebody say rivalry?
It's over at the moment.
The Wildcats commanding position in this game.
It has been dominant. Quarters 2, 3, and 4. Glidden firing it to Cheatham. Ty Webster.
Ty Webster complained about that call. Heard a mighty slap from over here.
That was hand on leather. I'm in Ty Webster's camp here.
Ty Webster, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. We've got some great all-around contributors here, and that looked like a foul.
But that was hand on leather, Casey, but it was also forearm on forearm. So we're both right.
You're one of those guys in the gym, hey. I got mostly ball when I tackled you.
Yeah, but you also almost broke each other's forearms.
This is James McConey-esque from you. This has been a fight. Both teams have been putting their bodies on the line, extremely physical, well executed. 107-96, I mean, a highly effective offensive game from both teams. Breakers shooting over 50%, Wildcats at 45.
The Perth defense has at times been shredded a little bit. They concede over 91 a game on average. But they are outscoring teams at the moment. They are in sync. They've made adjustments. They've got all NBL player as they turn the ball over here, and Bryce Cotton, who just got it going. Not from the floor per se, but also more so from the foul line, and that is where they've made their bread and butter. Found 34 points of their 107 from the line.
Well, hasn't been perfect for the Wildcats, but it's been impressive.
There's Lamb with the right hand on the Wildcats turnover.
Lamb and Cheatham have now combined for 53 points. 25.
No other breaker is in double figures, Casey, as well. We've got a couple of players in Liafa and Glidden who made a cameo here in the fourth on 9. 8 from Jackson Cartwright, and if he doesn't score in 11.4 seconds, it's his lowest output for the season for the Breakers. Davichus has 8. 6 from Abercrombie, Metiang is 2.
Bryce Cotton misses, the streak is over. Your commentator's curse has finally come to fruition.
That was more so as a team. 1 for 2 for Cotton.
I know, we didn't even, the one time you don't mention it, nothing but doesn't get it done.
And then maybe he makes the bucket, and it's not his lowest output for the Breakers. TJC with a late 3. And they'll just dribble it out here at Spark. The visitors come to Spark Arena and do an absolute job on the Breakers. They stop a 4-game win streak. Bryce Cotton is your Foot Locker player of the game. He is 31, 7 of 17, but 16 of 17 from the foul line. And Bryce Cotton did Cotton things again in the NBL.
And don't forget, this was after a slow start. 1 for 5 in the first quarter, 2 for 9 from the field at halftime. Finishes 7 for 17, and an all-around performance by the Wildcats gets the victory.
It's a final here in Auckland, 108-102. The Wildcats come away with the win.
To get yourself a 3-1
Welcome back to Spark Arena. It is the Wildcats with the win 108-102. And it was a game and a half between these two teams. Let's have a look at how the live ladder looks in round 14. And the Breakers drop out of that top 6. A big loss for them here in terms of the ladder. Still plenty of basketball to go. The Wildcats jump back up into second spot. And up next, another good game to keep an eye on. As the Kings and the Bullets. The Kings will look to jump up the ladder themselves. The Bullets need to start stringing some wins together as well. And the next Breakers game you can enjoy is Friday night in New Plymouth. United from Melbourne, the #1 team in the league. They'll make their way to Taranaki. And that is Friday night. But on behalf of Casey and myself and the Sky Sport crew, Taylor, Brooke, and everybody else, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.
I am here with your Foot Locker Player of the Match, Bryce Scott, and this is a place you frequently visit at an end of a game, your Player of the Match. But I know you don't like to talk about yourself too much. 31 points, but you had 6 guys in double digits. Your OG out there, Jesse Wax.